Remember, money is nothing more than a way to measure perceived value. Correct. Yeah, the phrase that I want to teach you is that whenever you're sitting there and you think, oh, I'd love to do this, I want to quit my job, I want to start this business, I want to go invest this, I want to do whatever it is, but I don't have the money, that's what normally stops people dead. Instead of going down that route emotionally, I want you to say, I don't need money, I need a better strategy. And I want you to say that with me to get it into your body. So on the count of 3, I don't need money, I need a better strategy. You with me? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. I don't need money, I need a better strategy. Outstanding. And how do we find that strategy? Where do we start looking? Remember, questions are the steering wheel of the mind. They will direct your focus. Ask a lousy question, get a lousy answer. Most people wake up in the morning and say, why does my life suck? Well, guess what? Your brain is a question answering machine. That's its job. Remember? So if you say, why does my life suck? It will go find you an answer. Because you're a schmuck. Hey? Because you're useless. Because you procrastinate. Because you're not good enough. Because somebody said that you weren't creative. Whatever it may be, it'll find an answer. That's its job. You ask a better question. What's funny about this I've not noticed yet? Next time you have an adversity. And your brain will find an answer. Sometimes it has to look a little harder. Stay with it. But what question do you ask yourself when it comes to coming up with a better strategy? Very simple. Money is a byproduct or a consequence of adding value. So ask yourself, how can I add value? How can I add value? And I'll give you a very quick scenario. And this is a bit of a famous scenario. I share a lot of my events because it's short, it's quick, but it teaches you the mechanics very beautifully. Many years ago, I had a friend in Leicester who was a seller of flowers on the market stall. His name was Matt. Yeah, Matt the Flower Man, as he shall be known. And Matt calls me one day and said, hey, Peter, can I please borrow £20,000? Yeah? It's like, ATM written on my head. And I said, well, what do you want the money for? He says, no, I've got this amazing opportunity. You're not going to believe it, and I need to act quickly. He said, I've got this flower stall in the marketplace in Leicester. He says, well, there's only one other big market in Leicester on the slightly other side of town. He said, where they've got it's a big flower stall there. It's well known. Guy's been there 20, 25 years, but he's retiring. And he's offered me the pitch to take over his stall for 20 grand. He said, now, I can't borrow the money from the banks. There's no security in a market stall. I don't have the cash flow to support that outlay right now. He said, I asked my wife if I could, borrow it on the house, and it was a very short conversation. He said, but if only I had 20 grand, then I'd be able to corner both sides of the market. I'd add a ton of value. I'd be the biggest seller in Leicester. I just need 20 grand. Now, Matt doesn't need 20 grand. What does he need? A better strategy. And he gets that by asking the question, how can I add value? How can I add value? Correct. So, one of the first questions I asked Matt is I said, how much business do you put through in wholesale each year? He said, well, round about 125 grand is what I put through in my wholesale business. I says, do you concentrate that on one supplier? You spread it out? He says, well, I generally have one main supplier that I use in Amsterdam. But I occasionally go to other places if they don't have the right stuff, etc. I says, okay. If you were to get this other store, what would that do to your wholesale throughput? He said, at least double it. The guys as successful as I am, we kind of both have different sides of the market cornered. He said, but it would at least double it to $250,000. I said, okay. So here's what we do. 5-minute strategy. You go to your wholesaler in Amsterdam. You will come and say, listen, I have the opportunity to double my wholesale input this year to £250,000, £250,000. Now, I'm willing to sell you the exclusive right of supply for 5 grand. A very easy sell. Very easy value proposition. So then we go over to the guy that's retiring. We say, hey, listen, we know that you want £20,000 for the pitch, but we don't want to give you £20,000 for it. We want to give you £25,000. However, we don't want to pay it all in one go. We want to pay it over a 12-month period because he's retiring, doesn't need it all in one go. And if you put, that's 25% return. If you put 20 grand in a central bank these days, how much interest do you get after 12 months? Bunch of daffodils, probably, right? I said, So we don't want to pay it all in one go. We'll pay it over 12 months. Oh, and by the way, here's a £5,000 deposit. Can you start to see how this works? All right? He doesn't need money. He needs a better. And who wins in that scenario? Does Matt win? Does the guy selling the store win? Yeah, 25% on his money. Do the customers win? Yeah, the only people that don't win is the bank. Yay! Right?